Have you ever felt like your brain is working against you? Like no matter how hard you try, the negative thoughts and self-doubt take over, questioning your abilities and worth. It's as if your brain has hijacked your sense of self. Think about that moment when you've been overwhelmed with anxiety or insecurity. It could be a fear of rejection, like stage fright or not feeling good enough. We've all been there. Broadway star Ed lived this for years, crippled by fear, self-doubt, and his brain's deception, even though he was adored by his audience. But here's the thing. You don't have to let your brain control you. In this video, we'll explore how these deceptive brain messages arise and, more importantly, how you can break free from them, just like Ed did. Your brain often sends out false or misleading thoughts that can undermine your self-worth and control your behavior. These deceptive brain messages are not reflections of your true self, but are instead unhelpful signals that distract you from your genuine goals and intentions. Brain acts like a machine that constantly generates thoughts, including those that are inaccurate or negative. Mind has the power to choose how to respond to these thoughts. It can distinguish between useful signals and those that should be ignored. Ed's experience. Despite being a successful Broadway performer, Ed's brain tricked him into believing he was unworthy, leading to debilitating stage fright and avoidance of auditions. Sarah's experience struggled with perfectionism and depression. Her brain's deceptive messages caused her to overanalyze interactions and question her self-worth. Solution: by recognizing these deceptive messages as merely signals from your brain, not truths about yourself, you can regain control. Techniques such as relabeling thoughts can help you manage these negative messages and stay focused on your true goals. Living according to your true self involves aligning your actions with your genuine values, goals, and emotions. It means viewing yourself through the lens of your inner guide, the wise advocate who sees you with compassion and understanding, rather than being dominated by negative thoughts. Sarah's experienced her overwhelming negative thoughts led to physical symptoms like headaches and body pains, and eventually caused her to withdraw from loved ones and daily activities. Her brain's deceptive messages convinced her she was worthless, leading to a deepening depression that distorted her self-image and life outlook. Abby's experience struggled with overanalyzing and guilt, driven by deceptive brain messages that made her question her actions and decisions. She was trapped between the fear of overprotecting others and the anxiety of potential outcomes, unable to assert herself without feeling guilty or conflicted. Instead of letting deceptive messages dictate your self-worth or actions, approach yourself with compassion and nurturing care, guided by your inner wise advocate. Recognize when deceptive thoughts are clouding your judgment and focus on what truly aligns with your core values and goals. This shift helps you live authentically and maintain a positive self-image despite the brain's misleading signals. Understanding and connecting with your true self involves moving beyond deceptive thoughts and embracing a more compassionate, value-driven perspective on your actions. The wise advocate is the aspect of your mind that maintains a clear, compassionate perspective on your true self. It sees the bigger picture, understanding your inherent worth, capabilities, and accomplishments, unlike the deceptive brain messages that can mislead and misinform. The wise advocate helps you make rational decisions based on what's best for you in the long term. Perception recognizes deceptive brain messages for what they are: misleading thoughts and impulses that do not reflect your true self. Empathy understands your physical and emotional state, acknowledging the damage caused by automatic, habitual responses. Guidance encourages you to value your true self and make decisions aligned with your long-term well-being, countering the negativity of deceptive brain messages. Impact of ignoring the wise advocate. Steve's experience. His deceptive brain messages convinced him that people in his life were only interested in using him, leading to frustration, isolation, and a reliance on alcohol to manage stress. His inability to invoke his wise advocate prevented him from seeing that people genuinely valued and cared for him, causing a cycle of chronic stress and emotional distance. Benefits of engaging the wise advocate. Clarity. Provides a balanced view of your situation and relationships, helping to break free from the cycle of negative thoughts and behaviors. Connection. Fosters healthier relationships by reinforcing your value and capabilities, rather than succumbing to the deceptive messages that isolate you. Key takeaway: engaging with your wise advocate helps you rise above deceptive brain messages, enabling you to live authentically, make sound decisions, and maintain positive relationships. Understanding the cycle of deceptive brain messages involves a repetitive pattern where negative thoughts and impulses trigger a sequence of distress and unhealthy behaviors. This cycle can consume a person's life and lead to significant emotional and physical consequences. Initiation of deceptive brain messages. False thoughts. The cycle begins with deceptive brain messages that are false and misleading. These thoughts often involve negative self-assessments or irrational fears. Example: Kara received messages telling her she was no good and unlovable due to her appearance. Emotional and physical distress. Uncomfortable sensations. The deceptive messages lead to intense emotional or physical discomfort, such as anxiety, self-loathing, or physical symptoms. Example: Kara felt gross and disgusted with herself, which led to unbearable distress. Engagement in unhealthy behaviors. Relief-seeking actions. To escape the distress, individuals may engage in harmful behaviors that provide temporary relief. This includes actions like binging, purging, or substance use. Example: Kara turned to purging and excessive dieting to alleviate her distress, which only provided momentary calm. Reinforcement of the cycle. Temporary relief, long-term harm. The brief relief from distress reinforces the behavior, causing individuals to repeat the cycle. The harmful actions become associated with relief, even though they worsen the problem in the long run. Example: despite temporary relief, Kara found her negative thoughts and discomfort returning stronger each time, leading her back to the same destructive behaviors. Continuation and intensification. Escalation. As the cycle continues, the deceptive brain messages can become more intense and the distress can escalate, leading to further harmful behaviors. Example: Kara's condition worsened as she tried more diets and therapies, but nothing helped, and her feelings of inadequacy only intensified. Key takeaway: the cycle of deceptive brain messages traps individuals in a loop where negative thoughts lead to distressing sensation, prompting unhealthy behaviors that provide only temporary relief. This cycle not only perpetuates the distress, but also worsens over time, emphasizing the need for breaking the pattern and engaging with a more rational and compassionate perspective. In this video, we've explored how deceptive brain messages take control of our thoughts and lead us into a cycle of negative self-perception, unhealthy behaviors, and emotional distress. From Ed's stage fright, Sarah's overanalysis, to Kara's body image struggles, we've seen how these false messages can dominate our lives, distort our sense of self-worth, and keep us from living authentically. What we've learned: deceptive brain messages are false thoughts that cause distress and unhealthy behaviors. These messages lead to emotional and physical sensations that are uncomfortable and difficult to bear. Unhealthy habits become ingrained as we try to escape these negative feelings. The temporary relief from harmful behaviors only reinforces the cycle and deepens the struggle. It's essential to tap into your wise advocate, the part of you that sees your inherent worth and encourages rational decisions based on your true self. What to practice? Start identifying your deceptive brain messages. When negative thoughts arise, take a step back and ask yourself if these thoughts truly reflect who you are. Tune into your wise advocate, which encourages you to see the bigger picture and avoid acting on impulsive, harmful behaviors. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness, recognizing your strengths, and resisting the urge to follow destructive impulses. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into these critical topics: emotional sensations versus emotions, understanding the difference between physical sensations and true emotions, habitual responses, how our brain's automatic reactions create unhealthy patterns, identifying your deceptive brain messages, practical steps to recognize and break free from these false messages. You are not your brain. How to reclaim control and differentiate between your mind and your brain. The difference between the mind and the brain. How these two work together and when things go wrong. Biology is not destiny. Why you are not bound by your brain's biology or any disease or disorder. You can succeed. How anyone can overcome these challenges and lead a fulfilling, empowered life. Stay tuned and remember, you are not your brain.